And welcome everybody here in Twitch chat and everybody on YouTube for a different version of Lissandra Trundle. We got a spicier version here. Instead of the regular Shadow Isles version where you're playing some Shadow Isles control, we're going to be playing Ionia as our second region, where really what we're going to be doing here is playing it more as a combo deck. So what we're trying to do is use Lissandra. So Lissandra needs to have us summon 2 units that cost 8+ to level up, and then create the Watcher. And then the Watcher needs you to see 4+ allies that cost 8+ to then cost 0, so you can play the Watcher. Alright, so that's what we're trying to do. So we're going to be pairing Lissandra, of course, with Trundle. Just like the Shadow Isles version, Trundle gives you this Ice Pillar, 8 mana, but then refill 8 mana whenever you play it. Perfect. Perfect numbers for us. So what we're going to do is have that Ice Pillar, and then combine that with cards that we can bounce that Ice Pillar back to our hand. Homecoming, Go Get It, Monastery Piranha. So we can use these Ionia cards to recall that Ice Pillar back to our hand, and then replay it, and then refill our mana again. You know, especially like Go Get It, put it back into our hand. It costs 0 this round. Replay it, get your 8 mana. But I guess that doesn't really work that well, because then it will cost 0. So then, ooh, maybe the Go Get It thing doesn't really work as well, because then it costs 0, so it doesn't cost 8 for the Watcher, does it? Because it costs 0. Well, oh well. We'll try it out. We'll kind of see how it goes. This is just like before, this was a donation deck. This is a viewer submitted list here, but maybe that won't work as well as I hope. But the Go Get It still keeps it at 0, right? But that's what I'm saying. So Go Get It makes it 0, and so whenever you play it, it will cost 0, so it won't count as 8. But you can just put it back into your hand and then wait till the next turn to cast it for 8, I suppose. But I guess that's true. So the ephemeral copy that Go Get It will put into play. Okay, so the Go Get It will put the ephemeral copy, which that will cost 8, so that will count towards your Watcher. So that one's good. So that one works out for us. But yeah, so basically we're trying to just use these things, get 4 8 cost stuff very quickly, turbo out the Watcher. So that should be pretty fun. We're gonna see how that works. So let's just go ahead and get to it. We got Mina Swiftfoot, She Who Wanders, also at the top end being big things. Revitalizing Roar, pretty awesome with the Watcher as well. If we just play 2 things, create the Watcher, and if we're Enlightened, we can Revitalizing Roar, make that Watcher cost 0 that way instead. Alright, so let's get to it. Let's play some Lissandra Trundle. Spicy version with Ionia. Okay. Playing some aggro. And an aggro deck that wants to attack a bunch. I'm going to mulligan all of these. Okay, we've got a Freljord hand. Just mulliganing expensive cards against an aggressive deck. This will be one of my first times playing the Three Sisters. Frozen Thrall.
Don't get in my way.
Why couldn't I get you before?
Ages pass, yet I remain.
So the Toph with Lissandra does mean that they can't really attack with Lucian unless they have a 1-mana pump spell. Which is definitely possible. They have the 1 mana +3/+1. And I would like to block with Lissandra, but I don't want to risk that happening. Taking an extra point of damage, not that big a deal when we have the Tavern Keeper.
What will you have? Sharima, your emperor has returned.
But this is kind of the bad thing about the Three Sisters, right? Like, this 1 extra mana is really a big deal. Like, if this was just regular Flash Freeze, I'd be more comfortable with it. But I can't like play 5-drop here and then do anything with it. Same thing with like on turn 3 with it. The fact that it costs either 4, 5, or 6. That's a ton of mana. I don't have a wonderful idea of what to do. I don't know. I can get Entomb and Entomb the Grizzled Ranger? Yuck. Alright, y'all just play Trundle? I mean, like, what if they... Like, if they do have the Shapestone... We're pretty dead if they have Shapestone. By just playing Trundle. Now, 2 things die here. Like, maybe I should just Entomb this Grizzled Ranger.
Shatter.
They look angry. Stand down.
Pausing here does make it seem like I have something I can do. Because I don't just pass the turn immediately. Yeah, they get an additional attack now. I probably should have just Entombed this Grizzled Ranger. Yeah, because this just ends up with them getting another attack. And with this thing being double attack, that's what I should have done. I should have Entombed Grizzled Ranger.
Brilliant.
I'll bring them peace. The order is given. Shurima is sand and sky, past and present.
It's pretty broken.
It is fine.
Shatter.
You got a problem?
If they have Relentless Pursuit as well, this game's over. Which, of course, they do. They have a perfect hand. Just both champions, the Landmark, Relentless Pursuit, Grizzled Ranger. Alright, Entomb Grizzled Ranger, definitely the play, not Trundle. Good game, Scrutiny. That was a good game. That was, yeah, you had the dream combo. Yeah, that was the dream combo. That was pretty awesome. Good game. Alright, get this thing out of here. Alright, we're playing against a slower deck. That's good. Get those things out of here. Okay, we got Deny. I would like more turn 1 Frozen Thrall. No, turn 1 Frozen Thrall, not turn 2. So I know I could... So mana-wise, it would be much better to play out Frozen Sentry this turn, and then next turn play Sentry plus Thrall, right? Because then I would have been able to play all 3 of those cards in these 2 turns. But I think that it's just more important getting the Frozen Thrall down and getting that countdown started immediately than, you know, doing the best mana-wise possible of emptying my hand.
Safeguard our homes. Can see the Demacian border from here.
Go Get It does work with Frozen Sentry.
The desert by my side.
Those do work together.
In dreams, she beckons. For the homestead.
Me not Swiftfoot.
Alert the village! Our sun rises.
It's interesting. different, like, interesting paths here. I think I'm going to go with the Go Get It. Go Get It gives me a bunch of Frozen Thralls. So, like, do we want a bunch of Frozen Thralls? And I kind of do. I want to try this out. That's pretty interesting. I think that's pretty cool. Alright, Frozen Thrall the deck. What if two Draklorn, like what if this, like Draklorn plus Draklorn, what if those like added up, right? So like it just advanced them like 4 spots. Alright, well there we go. Like we already had the 8/8 overwhelm. Looks like they were in trouble. We had to deny if they were going to have like a Ruination or something like that. Yes, yep, the 2D stand for donation deck. Yep, that stands for like a donated deck, correct. Drac City, y'all. Okay, we're going to play... No, not elusives that kill us super fast. I don't like it. I don't know. I guess I'm going to mulligan all of these. Okay. Not the best. But I don't really know what is the best for us. This, like, really I want like turn 1 Frozen Thrall, like for this matchup. I think we want like, I mean just, you know, turn 1 Frozen Thrall and then Draklorn, turn that thing into an 8/8 ASAP. That's probably what we were kind of looking for.
Safeguard our homes.
Wow, cowards.
Safety disengaged. Fire till nothing moves.
Guess I'm just gonna pass.
Prime and ready.
Is this a meme deck? I don't know. Could be.
I'm always up for a round or two.
This'll take the chill off.
All right, we'll take the chill off.
System upgrade. Join me if you want to live. Evolve or
Ballistic
die.
bot so loud.
I've carved meat bigger than you.
I think I should block. I should block Twisted Fate here. Get the Mystic Shot out of their hand, and then Homecoming. Oh, it's a suit up. Then I also have Troll Chant, so I should have just blocked Mystic. I should have just blocked that to begin with. Kind of want to... I'll just let this happen. I kind of want to kill that Ballistic Bot. Actually, wait. Let's just do this and Flash Freeze. Okay, I like this. Because I want to keep this Kindly Tavern Keeper for, like, bouncing my... You know, right? Like, I want to bounce Kindly Tavern Keeper and keep healing my Nexus. So I don't want my Kindly Tavern Keeper to die. Lissandra. What's up, Lissandra? How you doing?
All things grow cold.
Get the Frozen Thrall going. It's the Frozen Thrall countdown. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
Stacking the odds.
Do do. Okay. Yeah, I used to DFW. Cool. Glad we got this going. We got the Draklorn.
Witness perfection.
Get that 4 cost in Fasta. So where are we at? We're at 5. Mr. Fate. When am I? I'm definitely Homecoming this Twisted Fate. It's just kind of like, when am I doing that? If I am Homecoming, that means... Yeah, we're going to recast. Probably recasting the Kindly Tavern Keeper. I don't know. I should maybe do it now. They have all the... So they have a bunch of... Okay, they got rid of the Mystic Shot. I was going to say, they have some cards that are fleeting. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. So they have some fleeting cards they kind of have to get rid of. So that's 7 now. We'll see if they have more fast speed card draw. Hopefully not. Good. Alright, so no level up Twisted Fate. Alright, they still have Mr. Burbles. Another Mr. Burbles? Just living the life. Ow, ow. Alright. So my plan is to kill them next turn. But that plan's gonna be tough. It's gonna be really tough to stay alive. Like I imagine they're gonna be dealing 12 damage to me fairly easily.
The ice is melting.
You're melting.
I still see far and clear. System upgrade. For the homestead.
And let's take this outside.
Plans within plans.
Yeah, my opponent's a coward. They never block. Don't want to fight my Avaros and sentries. Burblefish needs to be nerfed. My opponent has played 4 Burblefish and spent 0 mana. 0 mana for 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 power of elusives, plus also create 4 free spells for 0 mana. That is not fair.
All will kneel in time.
Can't wait for Burblefish nerf. Alright, I like this. I think that we should be pretty well set up here. We don't want to draw small units, so mulligan. This thing just doing 2 damage just isn't really important. I really care about Frozen Thralls and our large stuff. Right, like that's what we want. I like the Frozen Thrall. Swiftfoot good. Basically, we just make them deal 20 damage to us, which I guess it is possible if I just don't play anything, and if they just have Fiora plus, like, standalones. That's the card I'm trying to say. Standalones. They can just do 20 damage to us.
Strength and grace, beauty in the blade.
These old eyes still see far and clear.
Whoa. I was not expecting Avarosan Sentry.
Strike deftly.
Alright, I guess you can come out and chill. Kindly Tavern Keeper. Take the chill off. Okay, so we know they have another Fiora in hand.
I follow the Freljord's true leader.
True leader.
Nothing escapes my watch.
I love it when I get parlayed after Burblefish is played. So fun. Okay, we got an 8-8. 8-8s are cool.
Let them eat souls.
Safeguard our homes.
Try me.
So that Frozen Sentries will do stuff eventually.
Look out for reavers.
We have lots of Swiftfoots.
For the honor en garde.
They don't really stop in Tomb, do they? I don't think they do. I wish the Swiftfoot could bounce landmarks. That'd be cool.
Counter and strike.
Didn't know they had another riposte in hand of like the Fiora champion spell, right? So like we did know they had another riposte in hand anyway.
I have no equal.
Alright, so that goes away for a couple of turns. So I'm thinking about going Go Get It on my Frostguard Thrall, and so then making, so then I have like the, so I could just play like another one. And I can have 2 8/8 overwhelms. And then I can, I mean, I can do that twice and just have a bunch of 8/8 overwhelms like this turn attacking. Yeah, this is basically me spending 5 mana for an ephemeral 8/8. Like that's what I'm doing here. I think that's the play. Okay, so if you play Entomb and Will of Ionia, it obliterates the enemies that are recalled inside. So yeah, so we don't have Will of Ionia, but we have Homecoming. So if we have Entomb, and then if we play Homecoming, it will just obliterate the enemies inside. All right, cool. That'll do. Entomb's pretty good against that Fiora deck. Win or loss? Thresh and Nasus. Alright, over to me. Mulligan. Send him back. I want to see like the one, you know, I want to see Frozen Thrall, Draklorn, that kind of stuff. Oh man, we are so dead in 19 rounds. 19 more attack rounds, we are dead. Dead.
Can see the Debastian border from here.
Sands beneath me and winds behind me.
Lissandra.
Last to not Rame buys me a new sail.
Not a bad spot for Blighted Ravine. I play Blighted Ravine, they attack, I block. Not a... Oh, wait. We can't even cast Blighted Ravine. Well, I guess that makes it a bad spot for Blighted Ravine if I can't cast it.
Ready the torches.
I want to play Lissandra and get that Watcher going, but I don't want Lissandra having Vulnerable. But we do have Homecoming that can bounce Vulnerable Lissandra.
Frost gathers. My board!
Really? Sentry?
Desert by my side.
Couldn't have had you last turn. If I play this, I have 6 mana. I'm just gonna play this.
Show me your worth.
die for you alone, my lady.
Observe the price of ambition.
Man, they really want me to be vulnerable. They're big fans of that.
Sand and blood!
So I go down to 8.
Our sun rises. These old eyes still see far and clear. The Emperor
Could definitely be punished for not healing my Nexus. We'll kind of see. Again, you have the Homecoming that can rebounce it. I have the Revitalizing Roar that can heal. I have the Blighted Ravine that can heal a little bit. I want to try to protect these two.
Soul wears away like grains of sand.
If I can. Kind of imagine they're attacking. And then after they attack,
To ruin.
well...
always forward. Look out for reavers.
Keep this Lissandra alive. So they're having their 4-1 challenge my 3-5. So they were going to be putting that Draklorn down to 1, and they were happy. You know, they thought putting the Draklorn down to 1 was acceptable. That does kind of tell me maybe like, you know, like Vile Feast type card in hand.
This is gonna be fun.
Do not embarrass me.
It's just really good to play this Troll Chant to get this Ice Pillar going, but, you know, I am kind of leaving these vulnerable by not having Homecoming now to protect either one, especially Lissandra. There is Vile Feast type card. Cool. They did not kill Lissandra. That was the important thing, not to kill Lissandra.
Shiver in your boots. One troll to rule them all.
And I guess we can't really Homecoming bounce the
You will do as I command.
Ice Pillar and replay it, because it does cost 8 mana to replay it.
You will do as I command.
Tough Nexus. There's nowhere to hide.
Smashing.
Through the snow with a 1-horse open sleigh. It's attacking for a lot.
One smack'll do.
+5. Oh wow. They're down to 4. We've only played 2 8-drops so far for the Watcher. Only 2. I kind of like this Homecoming protecting the Watcher a little bit also. So I'm not going to cast this Homecoming. Maybe I should be playing Mina.
Fear. Love.
Aw. Opponent packing it up.
Their death serves great.
Yeah, next turn we had multiple ways to make that Watcher cost 0 next turn, whether just playing Revitalizing Roar or Mina. Either way, it costs 0 the next turn. So there we go. There was our spicy version of Lissandra Trundle. This version looked really good in the slower matches against the Shadow Isles decks. We got to play against, I think we got to play against 3 Shadow Isles decks, right? And those were our 3 wins, I believe. I'm pretty skeptical about this deck in the aggro matchups. Any kind of deck that's like attacking you quickly. I think the, like having so much nonsense like Homecomings and Go Get It's is going to be really tough for those kind of matchups. However, when you play against your slower decks, like your Shadow Isles control decks, you look really good because you can just kind of play a slow game and set up your Homecomings and your Go Get It's to do really cool things. We got to Go Get It a Dark Lord Inquisitor, and that was awesome. Or I guess we did play against the Fiora deck. I think we're real good against the Fiora deck also, because the Fiora deck is a slow deck that just wants to kill units, but we don't really have to play units, and we don't have to play into their game plan. We get to go really big, so that's a good matchup for us as well. As far as like trying to fix the aggro matchups, I think you maybe need a little more like Avalanches. I think Avalanche would be pretty nice. I think She Who Wanders just this card is probably pretty unnecessary. Having 3 each of Homecoming and Go Get It's maybe a little heavy there. You probably don't need all 3 of each one. And honestly, Monastery probably not necessary either. Somebody here in Twitch chat was talking about Retreat Return, and I think Retreat Return does make a lot of sense. It's probably maybe even better than Monastery for us, because you do run out of room. Like if you're making, like when you have like the Frozen Thralls and stuff, like you do have limited board space, and Monastery really doesn't seem to fit. But Retreat Return... Where is Retreat? There it is. Retreat Return. So basically the thing here is it'd be 2 mana, recall your ally, and that for spending 2 mana to return a Ice Pillar definitely means like that's pretty easy to do. You can do that like with your spell mana, and still then like on turn 8 you can spend 8 mana and you'll have 3 spell mana with your regular 8. Play your Ice Pillar, use your spell mana, put it back in your hand, put it back into play. That's something you can do. But really the important card with this is having Return with the Watcher. So once your Watcher costs 0 mana, whenever you have played 4 allies, or if you use Revitalizing Roar to make it cost 0. Either of those, you make it cost 0. And then some opponents, even though it costs 0, you play it, and then they play Ruination, or they play Vengeance, right? Like they do something like that. They bounce it, they stun it with Concussive Palm. Like there's a lot of things you can do to like stop the Watcher even when it's played to keep it from attacking. But if you use Return is burst speed and puts it into play, and it's summon something that costs 3 or less. So once your Watcher costs 0, you can use cast Retreat on whatever, doesn't matter, and then you use Return to put the Watcher into play at burst speed, and therefore you have priority still. And then you can go ahead and attack with priority immediately and obliterate their deck, and so they can't interact with that. So that's something that could be kind of cool for this deck, and maybe over the Deny, or sorry, no, not over the Deny. I'm sorry, over the Monastery. Maybe over the Monastery. But besides that, yeah, I think I probably want to see a little bit more Avalanches. I like turn 1 Frozen Thrall a lot. I would probably want another one of those, because getting that on turn 1 for your Draclorn Inquisitor is awesome. And maybe a little less She Who Wanders and Homecoming, Go Get It. Probably a little less Mina Swiftfoot. You don't need 3 copies of this card, right? Like you just don't. Like we always had like 2 of these in our hand, and we never even cast a single one, right? Like you don't need 3 copies of this card. Same kind of thing. All right, but anyway, that's Lissandra Trundle. Fun one to play, especially if you play against other control decks or Fiora and you want to punish those decks and go super, super big and go with the Watcher. Give this version a try. So compared to the Shadow Isles version, this version is going to be much better against control than what the Shadow Isles is, but also much worse against aggro than what the Shadow Isles version is. So that's kind of like the difference. Shadow Isles version, good against aggro, not as good against control. This one's going to be much better against control, much worse against aggro. So you can, depending on what you want to face or what you want to be able to defeat, what kind of game you want to play, give it a try. All right, but anyway, that's it here for Lissandra Trundle. So those of y'all watching later on YouTube, hit that like button over there, leave those comments. I'd always appreciate those comments. Let me know what you think of the deck, if you tried it out yourself, anything like that. Always love seeing those. All right, but that's it here for Lissandra Trundle. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you for the next video.